Here we are. And if you look, come to think of it, well, I got to look at this myself. Wow.
Join the savage tribe. New takes weekly, unfiltered and raw. Isaac's voice, the memer's law.
The golden age of America begins right now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Golden Age podcast. I am joined, as always, by my co-hosts, Ronan the Crusader. You survived MegaCon, and you are back with us today. How are you doing, man?
I am doing great. I went through the airport's TSA, and I also heard the news that La Migra was showing up over there trying to search for me and my people. But I snuck right through. You still stuck with me, sons of bitches. You're still stuck with me.
So you're saying I'm not getting the reward in the mail?
No, you ain't. Actually, you might be expecting a brown-colored gift in the award this time. So
damn it,
like that one.
Damn. All right. Well, on that note, Vatlaw, you were also at MegaCon. I was not expecting to have you both back, but I'm happy to have you back. How are you doing, Vatlaw?
It's. I mentioned it. I mean, it's me and Ronan. We both had these massive, grueling journeys to get home, but we just absolutely love this show on here to actually commit to it. For those of you who are unaware, I live about an hour from where MegaCon happened, so obviously not that much of a big of a deal. The one thing that did get me that I will mention, and we can thank Cornboy partially for this, everyone's voice starts to go on Saturday. He brought out Rock Band and had people singing, and God, it sucked. Boy. But this guy did kill it on his first song.
I'm hoping we have footage of this. So if you do, send it my way. And Lex, I don't know if you're there or not. If you are, drop a hail. Badger.
Hello.
Lex is here. Okay.
Yeah. I just mute when I'm not actively trying to talk because you get mad at my loud keyboard.
Correct. So, Lex, good to see you as always. And kind of last minute, Badger and Irwin, you guys are coming in clutch. What? I appreciate it.
Is he my rider? Doing? I had to be on the top row, and now I'm back down on the bottom row.
All right, here we go.
Irwin's mad about being the bottom.
Yes, power move. Get power move.
And Ronan is getting deported to the back of the bus where he belongs with the other minorities. So, needless to say, we're having fun. Badger, how are you doing? You just ended your stream. Thank you for the raid, dude. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Fantastic. I was told that you didn't have enough panels, and I thought, well, he has too many panelists to begin with, and yet here we are. Yes. Even more than normal.
Magnum should be joining us.
Perfect balance.
This is actually a lot less than normal, believe it or not.
Well, that's good.
Yes. So, we were at like 9 or 10 last week. So, we're doing good. We're doing good. I'm going to pull up a few memes. I'd like to get your opinions on things. I have some user-specific tabs, kind of one for everyone. Irwin, you have the Black Woman tab, but it's not this yet. We have this gentleman right here. I am really loving this return in comedy. It is like the golden era of just humor is coming back to our culture, I believe. Kongman Lee posted this. So he says this got over 700,000 likes on Instagram. I don't know. I think this was pretty good. I don't know this comedian's name. Andre the comedian. Let's just check this out real quick. Let me know if you get audio. Appreciate it.
Never be gay, dude.
Yes.
Not because what you're thinking, just
Maybe
because
too
it's
much
disgusting.
audio.
But if you just,
It's not cooperating.
I'm kidding. You can do what you want. Have fun in hell. But if
It's not gonna happen.
I didn't write the Bible. What do you want from me, dude? But if you just, I need like this. Spanish people are homophobic. So if
Needless to say, it'd be nice if the audio
that was loud.
cooperated. We're gonna make sure with this one. We're gonna make sure. With
I
this
know
one,
you
but-
kept like reaching down to pick it up and then kicked it away, and then you reached down to pick it up and kick it away. It was adorable.
Yeah, that wasn't a me thing. That was an X thing. Yes.
Good old Mac. I know this one here.
Yes, indeed. So Tucker has a pretty unique voice, pretty indistinguishable, pretty you know, you can't miss it. So you're sleep demon, but it's Tucker Carlson. Let's check it out.
Evening. Still awake, I see. You know, they try to tell you that it's easy to go to sleep. It's rather difficult, actually. They try to give you all these methods like, oh, count sheep, count sheep. How do you count sheep today? There's sheep everywhere. Everywhere I go, I see sheep. All over the place. The entire world is just filled with sheep. You go on CNN, there's a sheep. You go on MSNBC, there's a sheep right there.
True.
You go on CBC, BBC, even Fox News, there's a sheep. They just start yapping their gums like, oh, today in Turkey, this happened.
I feel like you could make a Ben Shapiro version of this that would be even
yes.
scarier.
Except you would see his eyebrows in the dark. I hear they glow in the dark. You know.
Not just his eyebrows, you'd see his outline.
Indeed. Yes, and a little, you know, a small glowing aura above his head. Not a halo, just, you know, a small aura. This as well, just a couple more memes. This is a barbershop I think we would all do well to visit. I think we would all blend in very well here. Don't let appearances fool you, okay?
Oh boy.
I'm going to play it. This place is based is the title. Let's check it out. It's called Shipwreck. I don't know.
Welcome to Shipwreck. We can say things like retard,
gay, white trash,
faggy,
too. And I even let you say nigga.
Thanks, my nigga.
No problem.
Welcome to...
Just saying, it's not my culture, but I appreciate it for what it is.
Would they be okay with me saying that all people with face and possibly neck tattoos belong in labor camps?
I would hope so, because I would agree with that actually. So, you know, it's
okay, then I'm
100%
cool
true
with it.
there.
You all are the ones telling Mike Tyson. That is not going to be me.
To be clear, the reason why Isaac didn't like that, it's not that he doesn't agree with the sentiment. It's that it was too diverse for him.
This is very true. This is very true. That was the issue here. And speaking of diversity, one more thing, a Brazilian man trying to blend into an Arab company interview. And have to say, this was pretty funny too. Let's just check this out real quick. Not necessarily Arab.
That mustache, Jesus.
I know.
Chic.
Which I just have to say, I didn't know that Arabs did remote interviews like that. You know, they're usually known for working up close and personal and, you know, getting, you know, pretty fiery interviews. But, you know, I don't know. Pretty crazy.
Very sad.
I'm happy that they're happy. Do it outside of my country.
Is that
Right,
the
there you
reaction
go.
we have? Like if Magnum shows up?
Might be. He might be. We shall see. This one's for you, Erwin. I am sorry ahead of time. Two of them, actually. So the next one after this is the black woman, but this is first. So this is called the single most DEI moment in sports history. They were doing some weightlifting recently.
Oh, no.
And this is the 1-inch bench press, actually. Very big stretching rep. Let's check it out.
She's going for 145 kilos on this occasion to solidify that position on the...
Look, down, up. Yes, the joy. Pure joy.
Is it because you just have to do it to your chest, and your chest is enormous? Is
Correct.
That what it is?
So this is
Correct.
the Paralympics.
Correct. That's exactly what it is. It has to contact your chest. But if
Okay.
your chest is already an inch from the bar, then you made it. So,
I thought that was
I
just.
had
a
never
specialized
considered
fat
that
jam.
strategy.
yes.
The global homo agenda, the globalists have told me all my life the metric system is the way to go. They even had it as 145 kilos. Why are they measuring by an inch? Fuck you. That's my freedom unit, not yours.
That's very true. That's very true. And they're appropriating our culture.
I'm
It's
saluting
culture.
and crying.
How are you saluting, though, Lex? Would you care to share? This is for you, Erwin. This, no context needed. So, this is the people we have patrolling our streets now. Yep. Very concerning. I have to imagine the taser and the sidearm would get used pretty often.
Is that
pretty often,
really the
yes.
uniform standard?
I don't know. Is there standards anymore? Really?
I don't think
so-
there ever was when it came to these kinds of women. Let's be honest.
I don't think so.
That's
I don't
Wow,
think so.
you say that and Aaron walks away.
That's a very impressive question, and I believe Pantera has asked that question about
there we go.
standards for many years.
Yes.
That's why he walked away. He needed the hat just to
Yes.
really assert his pimp hand.
It's like an impractical Jokers. Like
With
now
the
tell her to
police
put
hat
the
on
hat.
top.
The mic's not
Get
working.
a hat.
is bad.
Tell her to
for
put
your
the hat on top of her hair.
It really is. Yes. Now tell her to go drink out of the person's drink and bump into them exactly. It really is.
And cut them
Waiting
off
for the
in
cameras to
traffic
come
and
out.
get angry at them after cutting them off.
Exactly.
All right, now Al
Yes.
Green, wave your pimp cane at Trump during the State of the Union.
Exactly. Yeah. And then hold up the sign saying that black people rent apes.
Rent apes.
So that as well.
Damn it! You
Yes.
got there first.
Yes. And this one's for Ronan
God.
because it is being reported that researchers in New Jersey are warning that the R word is experiencing a significant and concerning resurgence.
Let's go,
Now,
baby.
What would you say about that, Ronan? Would you say that this is a actual fact or
Well, considering I'm the one that's really carrying it,
Yes.
with the amount of R words and well, even a few certain slurs that I would be shouting in traffic and
R
in
words
polite
and
conversation.
hard Rs.
Yes, I would actually say that this is a fact.
Yes, absolutely. So
Are they suggesting that we need to retard the use of the R word?
I think they are. Yes, we need to retard it and we need to
Yes.
limit it to a great degree. Yes,
Gotcha.
absolutely.
Retard the
Before we
accelerator. Retard.
Before we continue, I want to give a big shout out to Raider for the
Raider.
10 gifted subs on Kick for $50. Raider,
Oh,
thank you so much for supporting. Yes, Legatus, thank you for calling it out. Very much appreciated, Raider. I saw actually Cornboy was meeting up with Raider in MegaCon. All you guys were. A lot of you guys met Raider. So
Yes.
it's great to see Raider again dropping the 50 over on the Kick side. Thank you so much, Raider. And hope you all had a great time in MegaCon. Hope to meet you next year, man, too. That's the goal. So we shall see. We shall see. That's
speaking
it for
of
memes right now.
Yes. How many more hours for monetization?
Less than 100. Less than 100 on YouTube.
Oh,
So
all right,
it's been very wonderful that you guys are supporting on the Kick side, but hopefully on the YouTube side very soon as well, too. So it's very much appreciated. We're almost there. Might be there within the month. So we shall see. That's it for memes right now. We're all aware of Hasan Piker
Oh my
and
God.
his BS, shocking Kaya, everything. He's not a high-class individual whatsoever. He's over in Cuba right now. Are you guys all aware of what's
Can he
going
stay
on
there?
in Cuba?
I have
wish he
heard the
would.
stories, like ever since
Yes.
Venezuela basically, going through what it went through. Cuba has
Exactly.
now lost its main means of energy source, basically. So now they're all completely in the dark.
Yes, exactly. So they are completely in the dark. Power is out. And of course, the champagne socialists from the more prosperous parts of the world are converging, protesting, holding signs, anti-Trump. It's all orange man bad every single time. Everything is Trump's fault, even the power going out in Cuba, apparently, the communist little island out in the Atlantic. So, an angry
I'm
Cuban
sorry.
man. Yes.
My pattern recognition is just off the chart right now, going wild. Cuba has no power, and he came from this weird foreign land called California, where they have these similar types, where the power goes out for extended periods in these areas.
Yearly brownouts.
Wild happened. We should probably study it to see if we can prevent this.
Almost as if it's preventable. But the Cubans are not happy. So the Code Pink communists are staying in Cuba at a hotel. They get to enjoy electricity thanks to a generator, but 99% of Cubans are without electricity. We're going to check this out.
I want to point out, some people might assume that they're there for the Cuban people.
No, they are not.
No, they're actually there to shill for the Cuban government.
Yes, they are, which is allowing people to starve to death and go without power and live in the dark.
This man have a cane.
Demons. Yes, because it's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
X, fix your volume. Okay? So, as you can see, they're in the dark. They have generators at this one hotel.
Maybe it wasn't X. Maybe I just recorded it, or he borrowed my laptop to record it.
So, people like this, Hasan Piker, are at the hotel with generator power. While the citizens of Cuba are in the dark. And he's streaming using the power that is being diverted from, hospital care, residential needs. And no, the Champagne Socialist streamer needs to be able to have his power for streaming, talk to his comrades on the internet. Hasan Piker says the Cuban people like not having electricity. Well, staying in Cuba's exclusive hotel with power. So, in case you didn't think he could get any lower, he absolutely can. Let's check it out.
It's incredible. It's truly one of my favorite places officially. I totally understand why
Cuba.
Will was saying that about Cuba. It's remarkable. The people's resilience is remarkable. There's like rolling blackouts that take place throughout the day, every day, all around the country,
a normal
right? 11 million people.
This is not
but
a
today
good
is a beautiful
thing
day out
either.
here. It's like 75 degrees, sunny. People are partying. People are partying in the fucking streets. I don't know if it's like an island
We're going
mindset.
in the streets
I don't know
to
if it's like
see, dumbass.
Partying in the streets, summer of love,
So-
mostly peaceful parties.
So 3 comments to that. The first one, whoever that chatter was in his chat that was saying fuck Chuck Norris. Listen, buddy, your mom's a hoe, and we're sorry that she didn't, swallow you sooner. That's number one. Number 2,
No lies detected.
partying in the streets. I didn't see anybody partying in that video right outside the hotel. And number 3, this is the same retard who was actually being confronted by the Chinese police when he was over there by, I forget where exactly. I think it was the Forbidden City where he was close to. He got confronted by the Chinese police because apparently he had memes, and he was just licking their boots endlessly, enjoying it. So it doesn't surprise me that this guy obviously is going to just lie to defend the party, because that's pretty much what he sold his soul to.
Absolutely.
Well, just before we move on, I have never actually seen someone do the virgin walk while sitting in a chair until just now.
He also was talking about the hospitals. Yeah, this sums it up. It's Champagne Socialism. So he talked about the hospitals here, and this is where it gets very insensitive and out of touch. So Cuban doctors told him, this is from Hasan, that they have to sew up patients mid-surgery when the power generators ran out of gas. But MAGA on here are too busy lying about the people that went out to Cuba with aid to turn everything into a distractive spectacle. Pure MAGA propaganda. You're cattle if you fall for it. Wow, you're cattle if you fall for it.
Did he just
Meanwhile,
call us
he's
goy?
literally... Yes. What'd you say, Erwin?
Did he just call us goy?
Yes, he did. He said the Goyim have lost their minds. Yes, exactly. And I think we have. The Goyim are out of control. And you know what? We're going to stay that way. So Craig even chimed into this, Stuttering Craig. And we all know Craig. He's actually, I got to say, we all know him from the gaming side. Badger, I know you've been familiar with Craig as well, and Erwin, all of us. And he's been in this for years. He's gotten more political over time. I don't know if he has a history of it, but I've been seeing him post a lot. And he chimed into this as well. saying Hasan Piker may be one of the most privileged people in the world. He's shielded by Twitch against all punishment, and they literally keep the lights on for him in a communist country while shutting the lights off for everyone else. And it's absolutely true. He is protected by Twitch. He never gets banned when everyone else does for saying the most heinous of things. It's absurd. Death threats, essentially.
Seems awfully privileged to me.
It does. It does. And it goes back to what we were saying, champagne socialists. They're fine if everyone else is in the dark, but not them whatsoever. So, this lovely lady.
Oh, no. I like
Taylor,
the retweet better.
Right, nationalists offered to fuck her back to sanity. Yesterday.
Man.
You know what? He's
off.
crazy. He's crazy for that. He's crazy for that. I love the guy, but
if he'll take one for the team, then you know what?
There's cobwebs in there, my dude. Come on.
Needless to say, what she said, if you're traveling to Cuba or any impoverished community, or just generally, you should be wearing a mask. We're 6 years into 6 years.
Okay, he replied to this with offering to. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
6 years into an ongoing pandemic, and airborne disease is real, no matter how many, quote, leftists want to scream and stomp their feet about RFK talking points. People are dying, starving to death, without power. She wants you to wear a mask while you're in the dark. What do you think?
The airborne disease is her speech.
That's very
Badger, let me ask you, where do you live? Like, you don't have you
Uh,
live in California. Okay, let me ask, is there a crazy pandemic still happening in California?
Nope.
What the hell is this lady talking about, man?
I would say there is a disease, and it's called communism, and it's perpetuated by people like Gavin Newsom in
I
California.
think the correct way to interpret this message is to say that these impoverished communities are unsafe, and therefore we shouldn't be letting anyone from there in.
I fully agree. I fully agree. Yes, we should discriminate with who we allow in. And
I agree, Taylor. I agree.
Hasan is out here in his styling. He's styling, walking the streets. He's got his shirt. Havana Day 2. Okay, he's loving it in the sun. Fun in the sun. Well, that shirt, Hasan's $690 shirt, can feed a family of 4 in Cuba for about a year. So they make next to nothing. I think the average income's like $120 for a person in Cuba. So, yeah, pretty out of touch.
I keep thinking it's a stereotype that Cubans are still driving around in cars from the 1950s. But no, the photos do keep proving that, yeah, apparently Cuba is still stuck in the 1950s. But
yeah,
wow, okay.
Not even the good version of the 1950s. I mean,
no, sadly not.
If communism died in Cuba tomorrow and they could export their cars, there would be a crop of millionaires crop up in Cuba over fucking night.
100%. 100%. And it's just how insensitive is it? I'm sick of this. Is the last thing on this subject. I'm so sick of Hasan and his BS. And he's always saying the most. When Charlie Kirk died, it really taught us a lot about, even more about Hasan's character. I really didn't know much about the guy before that. Oh, he's a leftist streamer. But the vitriolic nature of the hatred from this guy, it's insane. And the fact that anybody can still take him seriously and say, oh, he's a moderate voice in the world. I've heard people, the middle-aged white women on the left fawn over him. Oh, he's a voice of reason. He works out. He's handsome, but he's a leftist,
Well, you heard about what Greta Thunberg is doing right now, right? She's going to Cuba. No. She's going to Cuba to protest the United States for not giving oil to Cuba.
Really? Lovely. So she's in favor of oil usage when it's for a communist nation, but not ours. Okay, that tracks. Yeah. So
I'm gonna predict it right now. Hasan is going to be in 2029 then at the swearing-in ceremony of whoever the Democrat candidate is.
I don't think you're incorrect about that.
I would say you're accurate, and as just to tiny circle back to the Greta comment that Magnum just made, it's exactly as intelligent as any other argument that Greta has ever made.
Well, make your head
explode. Very true. So, speaking of another woman who's kind of crazy, is this is another instance of be careful what you let your kids watch online, on TV, on whatever. This Miss Rachel chick, I don't want to sound Matt Walshy, but I get the demonic vibes from this chick, and I'm not just saying that in meme sense. She very subversive because she appeals to children. She calls herself a children's entertainer. Oh, look, I'm in bright colors. I'm cheery. I smile. I laugh. Everything.
She's got like Mark Zuckerberg meets the Wiggles vibes.
Yes, Mr. Beast eyes a little bit. You know,
That's
she's kind of
uncomfy.
got that nothing behind the eyes look. She is fighting to close an ICE facility in Texas that's detaining children. That's how Variety, of course, is framing it. She wants to make sure that kids and their parents are back in their communities where they belong. I fully agree.
So
They
does
should
ICE.
be back in their communities where they came from, where they belong. I fully
exactly
agree. Not
what
back in
ICE
our
wants.
communities. Yes. She says here, and this is something we've all talked about. You guys cover better than we do. You know, politics, and for many years they said we're not political. Now they're open about it. She says, I am political. It's political to believe that children are worthy of love and care, and that every child is equal, and that our care shouldn't stop at what we look like, our family, our religion, our border. She told NBC News, I'll say all children are not equal. Actually, I would say you should value your children more than someone else's children. There's such a thing as preferential treatment. There really is. Just because all children should be protected doesn't mean they all should be sent to our country either. Pretty
The Biden
diabolical.
Biden administration carried out one of the largest human trafficking operations in probably human history.
Yes, they did.
Delivering children to the customers.
Yes, they did.
Flying them around, and then they used the whole children in cages thing to make it to where you couldn't hold them, so you had to let them go. And a lot of times,
Who built those cages again?
Yeah,
Barack Obama,
exactly.
Badger. Yes, it was Barack Obama.
That was a
Yes.
very good
Obama.
Badger.
That's right.
Yes, yes.
Me, I personally
the
did
famed,
it. Every
the
one of
famed
them.
white supremacist, Barack Obama.
But
yes.
all of that was so they could traffic the children, and then they basically you would just bring a kid, and then you go to the border patrol, and then they'd fly you in, and you.
Barack, that was the guy that did all the
Come
drone
down.
strikes, right? More drone strikes than anyone else.
Yes,
in
drone
the
damage.
American
Yes,
citizens. That
yes.
guy.
He killed all the brown kids in the Middle East.
Didn't they have
That's
a
right.
nickname
Wow,
for him
yeah,
because
that was
of
the
that?
same guy. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
They
Nobel
had a-
Peace Prize for it too.
They had a funny
Crazy.
nickname for that guy. What was it? Some like old Obama or whatever. But
Yeah,
like, yeah,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
It was wild, man.
Or Obama, as Trump would say. But I forget what I was going to say about that. But moving on, it's crazy that people. I don't know why people still let
Protect
their
kids.
kids protect kids. Yeah.
Protect
I was
kids
going
from
to.
their parents taking them across the fucking border.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly right. What I was going to say about this, Epstein was a drop in the bucket. Kind of to catapult off Irwin's point. We have to hold, a lot of our people responsible. Like you said, Biden enabled and not only enabled, kind of promoted through policies, not kind of, but did, human trafficking and smuggling of children. Highly recommend people watch The Sound of Freedom from Angel Studios. It gives you an idea of what is going on, and people should be aware of this, especially people with children, parents.
I was told that was an alt-right dog whistle.
Isn't that why Disney wouldn't play it? Yeah, that's why. Why wouldn't Disney? Why would Disney not show a movie about the hazards of trafficking children? Why would Disney or Hollywood?
We think it's important. If Trump came out with the cure to cancer, people wouldn't take it.
Oh God.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Trump drinks water. Maybe they should stop that. But
I'm waiting for him
needless to
to
say-
endorse oxygen.
I would love that. The plastic
Yeah.
bags galore.
And white women are going
Miss-
to inject aquarium cleaner into their husbands. What'd you say, Isaac?
Yeah, Miss Rachel recently had a video call with a 9-year-old, which is don't let this woman talk to children, please.
On Discord, I assume.
Yes, Javier
Roblox.
Hanau, whatever.
David
Jimenez.
Jimenez. Yeah.
Little
I
him. Oh,
assume.
thank you, Ronan. I appreciate it. Who is detained at Dilley Immigration Processing Center in South Texas. The boy told her he, quote, wants to leave and go to the spelling bee. Well, I hope they have spelling bees where little Jimenez came from. I really do.
Spell
I really,
Deporte.
really do. Yes.
I'd be happy to use it in a sentence.
I knew the Dilly meme. I knew the Dilly meme team was based, but I didn't know they had a fucking immigration center. That's fucking fantastic.
I guess they do now. And she's saying it was unbelievably surreal to see the sweet little face and feel like I was on a call with somebody who's in jail.
His
He's in
parents
jail.
paid narco terrorists to human traffic him. Fuck you.
Yes. Take it up with them. He's not in jail too. He's in detainment and he's treated like royalty. They treat children very well. It broke
trying to
me
get
and
a
it was something
child-
I never thought I'd encounter in real life, she told the news outlet. We're trying to get a child out of jail to do a spelling bee. I just never thought those words would go together. It's essentially the meme, oh, won't we think of the children? You know,
Well, I
essentially.
was also thinking, oh no, liberal tears, quick, burn the Constitution, that kind of
Exactly.
stuff as well too.
Well,
That one too.
the other part, I don't know if she's aware of this, but it's probably not the only kid there, and they could probably fucking have a spelling bee there that he probably actually has a good chance to win, especially if they say do it in Spanish.
Yeah, or do it in the Somalian sector of the
Well, you could let
facility.
the adults go in if you do it in the Somalian sector, and he still might.
That's very true. That's very true. So, needless to say, I like talking about that person a lot because still a lot of people, for some reason, let their kids watch her, and it's disturbing. So we like getting the message out there. Miss Rachel, bad is the point. And wanted to touch upon this for a second. Nick Offerman is not as based as his character Ron Swanson would have you believe in Parks and Recreation from back in the day. He is not the small government, anti-taxation, pro-gun Chad that you thought Ron Swanson was. He's actually
I blame his wife.
a total...
Yeah.
Nick
Never
Offerman,
meet your heroes,
yeah.
kids.
Never meet your heroes. He is crazy. But
Last
he's
of Us
calling-
season 2, man.
Oh,
that doesn't exist as far as that doesn't exist as far as
I'm glad I did not watch that, but I heard so. Yes, just
Well, actually, season 1 even. No, that was where he really.
Neither of those
I thought it
as
was,
far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I thought it was episode 3 where everyone is just like, nope the fuck out.
Right.
Oh, whatever.
It's not even a matter of what, but I don't want to watch anything with Nick in it. I don't find him enjoyable as an actor very much anymore. He's gotten Pedro Pascal level with me personally. Just you see him, you can't help but see his politics oozing through, and he's out here calling legends like Dennis Quaid crazy for not hiding Trump support. So that's quite the accusation, calling him crazy. And Nick Offerman recently criticized his fellow actor and co-star Dennis Quaid over his public support for Donald Trump. Offerman described Quaid as crazy for not keeping his political views private. I kind of think he should be looking in the mirror when he says that about keeping his political views private.
I think they're all
because,
crazy for not keeping their political views private.
Right.
Well, that's half of it, and the other half is, would he ever would anyone in Hollywood ever say, oh, well, he probably should have kept his support for Obama private? Anyone in Hollywood
Nobody would have said that.
Nobody would have said that.
I have a feeling what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to have a nice little jar next to me, and it's going to say Kurt Russell was right inside of it. Because, again, I'll bring back the ad nauseum.
Alex
Okay,
Jones was
that's
right.
a good one,
Yeah.
but this one will say Kurt Russell. But like I always say, ad nauseum. Kurt Russell had the one interview where he's like, look, I have my political opinions, but at the end of the day, I'm a clown. A lot of us actors are clowns. That's what what the audience watches us for, is to be entertained. So if I have the jar with me, I'll be putting coins upon coins upon coins in it right now. Every time we're doing a story about a fucking actor that wants to run his mouth talking 100%. About how they share their own politics, but God forbid somebody on the right who's also an actor wants to share their politics, and now they're suddenly, well, why would
they're
you?
damned to hell as a result.
Why would you share such a thing?
Funny is, well, he's inadvertently saying they need to shut the fuck up.
Well,
essentially.
Now we know how Ronan's going to pay to get to MegaCon next year, because that jar's going to be fucking full.
Just wanted to touch on this real quick, too. Dennis Quaid followed up, calls out Hollywood's double standard for Trump supporters, which there certainly is a massive double standard, and that's why actually a lot of people do tend to keep their mouths shut, and a lot of people have to kind of toe the line, and it's weird because we live in the era, too, where silence is violence, so if you're not explicitly left-wing, if you're not explicitly woke and, constantly pandering, then they just assume you're MAGA or you're right-wing or you're one or the other or whatever. Crazy. So, longtime actor Dennis Quaid sees a double standard. Yes, we know that. Moving on, yes. While celebrities voice their opinions freely, many who, like him, love Trump are encouraged to remain silent. That's a big issue here. We're just talking double standards. It's insane. And, I'm kind of glad to see that there's more attention being brought to it, and hopefully Hollywood will learn. Badger, I saw you mention that Starfleet Season 2, Starfleet Academy, is no longer going to be continuing after that second season, which I've been watching your videos on it, and it looks it looks woke as hell. It looks woke as hell. Do you think, we're just going to end it here on this, but do you think Hollywood is potentially learning from their mistakes. Or are they going to keep with the propaganda? What do you think?
No, the Ellisons might be because they're fucking a Trump supporter. They might be learning that just go back to the middle of the road, but even that would be too much of a change, which is why everyone's losing their shit.
Exactly. Yes.
That's why they can talk. You guys, it's not a double standard because there's not even a standard. They can talk about their politics because their politics just politics. That's just politicians. But when you mention Trump, Trump's Hitler to them, and his supporters are Nazi supporters.
True.
So you don't even rank of like, well, it's just talking about politics. So there's no going along and getting along because they don't want to get along with you, which is why we're depicted. Any person on the right is depicted
induces
that way.
An over emotional response. Like
so they don't even. They
primal.
also they don't even have to have the conversation.
Yeah,
Well,
their
all their
doctrine,
ideas are horrible.
their doctrine is
For
fact.
them, their opinions have already been set in stone. And like for example, when it comes to the trans issue, shall we say, right? But like for them, they are already declaring that, you know, trans children have a right to exist. So for them, it's not even a political issue. It's a human rights issue. It's just a decency issue because they've already declared that that's the case.
Human rights issue, but not in the way. See, the problem is every side, we each think that the other one is brainwashed and evil. And we're both kind of right, but one side is vastly more fucking right than the other.
100% correct. And like I always say, in light of Charlie Kirk, as we remember how they reacted to that and how they're reacting to the passing of the legend, Chuck Norris. I don't care about his politics. He was a legend in culture. He was a hero of the time. And, of course, you know, these rags, absolute rags. Pink News saying Chuck Norris dead at 86. History of controversial actors, anti-LGBT comments. And then, of course, Advocate saying Chuck Norris, panned for past anti-gay remarks, dies at 86. So you can't say elderly man, family man, 86-year-old fellow American passed away. They have to preface it with, you know, bigot, anti-gay, everything.
These demons are pissing on people when they die. It's messed up.
Here's the other half of that. Even at 86, at 86, he was still moving around.
Yes.
They wouldn't fucking dare say this. It's just like, okay, Chuck, obviously died at 86. At 85, I'm guessing they don't have the fucking guts to step into a fucking karate ring.
I think they would say, oh, you're homophobic bigot, Chuck. You know.
In fairness, I wouldn't either.
Badger, were you trying to say something?
I respect them. Sorry about that, though.
Let everyone get there.
Oh, okay.
No, but it's very true, and it's just shameful, and you hate to see it, and that's why the mainstream news is dying. So this kind of touches on that too. And I'm not a Resident Evil person. Never played the game in my life. I believe the 9th one recently came out, Requiem, I believe.
Yes.
And okay, the Romanian actor, character model of Leon Kennedy, the main character in Resident Evil, went viral after liking anti-immigration and transphobic posts. They were all ripping him apart over
What's
this.
his name, Isaac? Chatters were wondering what his name was.
Edward
Badulata.
Badulata?
Nailed it.
Badulata?
Nailed
I don't
it.
know. Edward. Needless to say, I just have to say, like, they are immediately saying, well, he's uglier than the character in the game. He's a this, he's that. And he's essentially just liking regular stuff. Like, people should stay in their own country, really basic stuff that any normal person would like. And they're immediately already coming out, you know, transphobic, anti-minority statements, all this stuff. And of course, Nazism. That's the one I wanted to get to. They're saying it's Nazism because he wants his country to stay the same. So, yes.
I'd like to throw in a little bit of extra credit on this whole debacle as well too. Erwin, I don't know how much you've been following this as well, but on the opposite end of this, you have the character model actress for Ashley from Resident Evil 4 Remake, Ella Freya, who is coming under fire because in one of her Instagram posts, she talked about her particular tastes in men. And let's just say every color except white seems to be an interest for her. Yeah.
Yes. I was going to play that, and then I realized she's not worth the time. So, yeah. But, she's essentially the opposite. They're saying he's super based.
Well, you should be first in line then, Ronan.
And it's the dichotomy of kind of male versus female politics in today's world. And
I guess the benefit of being brown, Magnum for me.
and Tony makes a good point in the chat that a lot of Romanians are Orthodox Christians, which is very conservative, very, very conservative indeed.
Oh, yeah.
So,
just like the Ukrainian war just made there was a bunch of like Eastern European political types that knew everything about it. I'm wondering how many Romania experts we have like out there randomly now. You know, the ones who probably cannot find it on a blank map of Europe.
It's on the
types.
east-ish part.
Yeah.
You know,
it's actually the only reason I know is I follow the Romanian. So it's one of those. I'll put it like this: it touches water because there is a very rich port section in a very fucking poor other section. So if they can find it from that description, good luck.
On spikes.
Real quick before you move on, the Chuck Norris thing is there's nothing they hate more than a straight white male.
100%.
That's where the Chris Pratt. Remember where out of nowhere it was like, who's the worst Chris Pratt, Chris Pine, because he's a straight white male, and he doesn't talk about politics, which means he's a Trump supporter.
He's also a member of a church badge.
Yes, I was just going to say. So
that
he's
means
a
he's like a
straight
total
white Christian
far
male.
right.
They hate that.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
no bigger threat. That and a strong black man. They hate that shit.
So I can bet my bottom dollar those articles that were condemning
shows
him
up for his kids.
probably have something to do with his religion.
Oh, absolutely.
More than likely. Yes, more than likely. Yes, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Yes, we are talking over each other. But no, excellent point. And it just goes to show they will never pick on Muslims. They will never pick on Hindus. They'll never even pick on... Hollywood would never pick on their own. They would never pick on Jews either. But it's always Christians who are the target of discrimination in Hollywood. So.
If they pick on Muslims, there might be spicy results.
That's very true.
I think that's the best way I can word it without getting us in trouble with anyone.
Yes.
We're just
aloha snack bar.
We're just repeating the fat lady in the Olympics video we saw earlier. That's all. Allah.
Pretty much, yes. And I thought she said Allah. I don't know. But needless to say, the tide is turning with this. This is a Trump W, as far as I'm concerned. You know, we go the W's and the L's. This is a win, as far as I'm concerned. The White House is installing a Christopher Columbus statue made from remains of a toppled sculpture. So, based in Columbus Pilled, as far as I'm concerned, right out in front of the White House. He's the man who discovered America, for goodness sake. He should be.
Right,
yes.
Again. I was going to say
a straight white male.
I was going to say, if you wanted to be even more based, it should be a statue of Leif Erikson, to be completely honest. Like a full-on Viking, you would have a ton of right-wing Nazis. Just
actual white.
I'll put it like this. Yes. If you don't like Columbus, just I implore you to go back and watch those early seasons of The Sopranos where they speak of Columbus.
I fully agree, yes. The anti-Italian discrimination
They also have
episode,
some other very nice features in that early 2000s era programming on HBO that seems to no longer exist.
There's clips I would like to play on here sometime. I would have to beep them out, though. But there is some good content from that show in that era. And just speaking on this, Matt Walsh, Erwin, you've been covering it a lot. He's been getting more and more based over time. Matt is probably not going to be at Daily Wire at some point in time.
It's insane that he still is.
It is. It is.
I would say
because he's saying America.
Credit to Daily Wire, though, for now, until they fire him.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean, credit where credit's due. But he says this, and it's absolutely true. Christopher Columbus is the ultimate IQ test. You immediately know that someone is a retarded halfwit if they start screeching some nonsense about how Columbus was a genocidal maniac or whatever. Intelligent students of history understand that he is one of the great men of Western civilization. This is an awesome move by the White House. Fully agree. He is one of the greatest men of Western civilization.
He got on a damn ship and he sailed into the abyss.
Which is something that many people don't survive doing, by the way. So it was a very deadly venture, especially back then.
His fault they had a bunch of diseases that the fucking natives weren't inoculated against.
Yeah, exactly. It's not is it his fault the natives that they were visiting didn't invent a wheel yet or have blankets of their own? No. You do one thing, you try to have charity.
Well, yeah, they get blankets all right.
They need another statue of Amerigo Vespucci, which is based off the country is based off of his name.
That's that's true. America, yeah. Wanted to touch on this too for a second. Don't know. This might be a little whatever, but this is from Zero Hedge. I just want to say I don't think it's unbelievable to expect that AOC is somebody who goes to a psychiatrist on a pretty regular basis. This was going around. I saw Benny Johnson reporting on it too. So AOC splashes thousands in campaign funds on psychiatrists specializing in ketamine therapy. Not to say she was doing ketamine therapy, but she's going to a psychiatrist that specializes in that. I wouldn't put it beyond her that she is somebody who could possibly partake in mind altering whatever. But needless to say, she splashed her from the campaign close to $19,000 in campaign funds last year to a Boston area psychiatrist affiliated with a chain of clinics that specialize in ketamine-based treatments. Just on its face here, do you guys think this could be a realistic thing with some of the things we've heard her say? She talks about having good breathable water, good drinkable air, things like that. She's always saying the most.
Suddenly it all
things.
makes sense.
It does. It does.
If she was like microdosing shrooms like psychiatrist, that would make more sense.
I think ketamine therapy is great for actual fucking veterans and people with hardcore addictions. It breaks neural pathways and helps them with their PTSD. But her doing it makes me think it's probably some form of fucking scam.
Well, no,
Right.
Yes.
I hate to disagree with the entire panel here, but she was an economics major that came out socialist. I don't think there was that much there to fuck up in the long run.
She's an overglorified barista still at this point, to be totally honest.
She's a bartender.
But, yeah, that's all she is. And essentially, its disclosures filed with the Federal Election Commission reveal that she did make 3 payments, totaling almost $19,000 to a doctor doing that. And like you said, Badger, it just made me think, I'm not by no means an expert on ketamine or any of these treatments, but like you said, this is for stuff with people, actual psychological, real PTSD, real trauma.
Like I looked over and my friend was blown apart and I had dead kids type of fucked up. Not I worked in a green zone and spilled coffee. Fucked up.
Exactly right.
I went to the southern border.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
So
right.
3 payments totaling $18,725.
Yes.
Gentlemen, we are in the wrong business.
Yeah, that's true. Running for office is pretty profitable, actually.
Well, no, I'm saying that
Dealing drugs.
apparently selling ketamine to
psychiatrists.
Look,
yes,
I don't know
we didn't
about
find the
all
right
y'all.
grift. Yes.
I don't know about all y'all, but my Colombian contacts are already hooking me up. Okay, so you guys find your own grift.
I mean, yeah. And this is very true too. DEI handing out degrees like it's candy. So,
Isaac, did you see what it what it said she listed that money on though? Leadership
it was
training and
leadership
consulting.
training, consulting,
I was like,
all that stuff. Yes,
Man, I'm gonna start
through
putting that down
ketamine.
for a lot more stuff.
yes,
Yeah, lead
very
the
vague,
people.
very vague
Microdosing
stuff.
cocaine for better leadership.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the doctors used to do it back in the day. It was
In fairness, they found it in the Biden White House. Maybe it's not just her. Just saying.
Possibly. And wanted to show this. We're not going to spend too much time on it. Erwin, you might have a thing or two to say.
My lawyer has advised me against it.
Okay, very good. Nigerian researchers accidentally, they were not going out of their way to do this. This was an accident. They accidentally confirm Africa's low IQ problem. So they went in doing some tests. So median IQ of all participants was 69. Over 50% of the people tested scored below. Scored below 70, which is below room temperature.
As Isaac's lawyer, I also advise him not to comment on any of this. Just read it.
Yes, I will read it. I will not be expounding on it. Lower IQ tends to correlate to a higher chance of criminal activity and impulsive violence. Really? I was not aware. Very interesting.
It correlates to literally every statistic ever.
Indeed, it does. It's an IQ issue. So you're telling me, Erwin, it's not a socio-economic issue, actually, necessarily, totally.
Well, it is. Actually, I'll tell you in a second if you want. Go ahead.
Is it fornication with your cousin?
That doesn't help too. Yes, Erwin.
I want to hear Badger.
Yeah.
It turns out generation of fucking horrible diet and lack of clean water leads to successive generations not exactly being equipped the same way. And that's all done because there's a bunch of fucking warlords that take all. And also you're not exactly in a material rich world, depending on parts of that.
A lot of it is about protein for brain development.
Yes.
And that's why they want us to eat the bugs and not be able to afford
100%.
Well, our brain is almost purely cholesterol.
There's a
It's
reason
fat.
that the caste system of the fucking elite lords were all a foot taller and big. Diet is a huge thing, and that's a country that by design they've been
It is.
starved out.
Well, these are
I thought it was
these are
the
the
white
bananas
man's
and rice
fault.
people. They don't eat steak. They don't
people
eat
in
bacon.
charge.
They eat bananas and rice. You know, no offense, Ronan, to your plantains and rice, but you know, that's not the type of food that feeds you. It's not brain food. You know, it's not steak. It's not fish. It's not, you know, protein and fat like we need.
But still, that
So,
we know it's that even if they have the proper nutrition and all that stuff, it gets them to about 85. So yeah, that
it does.
The drop from 85 down to that is because nutrition.
That's big news in the face reveal
That's
and
great.
off the hip here in a few minutes.
I actually had the chance to
Yep.
meet Niat over at over hanging out with the GCA over the weekend at MakeaCon. I actually had a
Fantastic.
chance to meet him. He's really
We'll
cool.
be rating in there in about 15 minutes. So, guys, if you want to see that, make sure you're watching ABF here right after
Yes.
this. So, just to wrap this up, you know, and all great points, and I agree, diet plays a huge part, but it's going to be something that takes generations. It is not something like you know, it's not reparations ain't going to fix this. It's kind of my point. You know, you can't hand them 40 acres and a mule and expect them to stop robbing people.
Well, you can, but you got to do it in fucking Africa, and they got to keep that mule and make viable food, and then not have it stolen by a goddamn warlord or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yes.
They're eating the
I'm
mule.
assuming they have coyotes or other predators as well, and to avoid that too. So,
Yes. Pretty crazy. So what was I gonna say? For example, this is the part. The data on Somalia's low median IQ, which is 6, far below the Western average of 100, so that's a huge drop-off, is often criticized as incomplete because the data is usually taken from refugees and migrants leaving the country rather than a population sample from within the country. However, populations in neighboring countries like Djibouti or Ethiopia have nearly identical results. Djibouti, yes, we all like Djibouti.
I'm shocked you got it right off the
Djibouti.
bat. Well done, good sir.
I know my geography. You have to know.
Oh, you know it because
I
it's
know
really
my
great food.
African.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Djibouti.
Yes.
I know he knows Djibouti.
I'm all in Djibouti. So it is simply a fact that IQ is largely genetic, around 80% of testing outcome. The rest is a matter of varied experiences and environment, which is what we're talking about. And we'll just leave it there, yes. So they're saying approximately 80% is largely genetic, which is something I think we all pretty much knew, but this just confirms it with this test, which was actually accidentally revealing what we already knew. So pretty crazy stuff. And, you know, they call it racism. I call it pattern recognition. I call it math. It's basic, observable science.
Math is racist.
I
Math is
trust the
racist, yes.
science.
Well,
I do too.
I do have another issue with that. They said the Western average is 100.
Yeah, that's
Based
also
on what? Because
white
it's
white
I'm
people's
one-
average
well,
is 100.
no,
Now it's 99, right?
Yes.
Well, it's definitely dropping when you
The
see
joys
level
of multiculturalism.
education.
What I'm
Yes.
confused though
Not
is that
even
they
that.
said
Yes.
they said that they think it's biased to get that information from refugees and not people who live within the population. The refugees are people that literally lived in that population. It just so happens they're leaving it. So that does
Right.
I don't understand that kind of like
They're the smart ones.
that wording, shall we say? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's crazy, and needless to say, it just reinforces what we've been talking about for a while. And speaking of reinforcing things we've been talking about, this was someone we talked about, I think, 2 weeks ago. This dude is a creep. Really bad
Yes.
clips of this guy. He's always obsessed with, you know, trans kids and all that type of stuff. Really creepy stuff. But Trump torched Democrat hopefuls, low IQ, 6 genders, Tallarico, that's his name, Tallarico, in fiery truth post, declaring Kamala is black. So this is Mr. Tallarico here.
What?
Really weird stuff. What were you going to say, Erwin?
No, what's that? Okay, who's black? All right, now just get to it. Sorry.
I know.
The other part from that picture, search that guy's hard drive yesterday.
Yes, yeah, especially with the comments he's made. Very
I'm afraid
obsessed
of
with
what I'll
kids for some
find.
reason. Yes.
His last name seems like a psyop.
So Trump viciously attacked Technocrat James Tallarico Sunday, blasting the Senate hopeful who beat. So this is the man who beat Jasmine Crockett. So he did beat a woman. He beat a woman in the race. Jasmine is no longer in the race. This is
Rip her weave out.
Yeah, this is the person who won the primary. So he beat Jasmine Crockett while also taking pot shots at Gavin Newsom. So Trump is going on to tear up these people. And I have to say, he needs to get back on X as well, because I'm not seeing any of this except for like InfoWars articles. So as you can see, he's got the lack of character limits. And we ain't reading all that, but needless to say, he's going on a tear against this guy, Jasmine Crockett, Gavin Newsom.
No relation to Davey? What the fuck, Trump?
Oh
Yes,
my gosh!
I know.
When it's so long like this, we're begging for some all caps to space it out a little bit and make it more readable. Jesus,
look at that. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy stuff. But yeah, he goes on to say the Democrat running in Texas, James Tallarico, turns out to be a fraud. It showed after the election when he beat low IQ candidate Jasmine Crockett, no relation to Davy Crockett. Oh my God. He's got 6 genders, insults to Jesus, only vegan food, was wearing a mask in 23 and 24, and is a weak, ineffective guy who we, quote, allowed.
That was the moment to call him an F slur. Weak
100%.
and effective, just call him what we all want to hear you call him.
1000%. It just
if Trump did it would be back, man.
Oh yeah, because my argument is his meme magic is dead. If he called him an F slur and a truth, I think he could revive
not just that. If he did it in an interview to where YouTube had to accept it, man.
I know.
Yeah,
dude,
it
would be.
You're feeding all of us at that point, man.
If he could get back on X and start dropping some slurs, we would be totally back. So I'd love it. And saying allowed to win prior to releasing the avalanche of information we had on him. Because as bad as Crockett was as a candidate, this guy is worse, which I fully agree with Trump on this, actually. We know how bad Jasmine Crockett was. This dude is 10 times worse than her. He's further left. He is more extreme in a lot of ways. She is the insufferable Popeyes employee.
He's beta O'Rourke, but they actually remember to put a brain in this unit.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
No.
He can actually
think
carry
it may have been a
himself.
small brain then.
More than possibly, yes. So, needless to say, Trump wraps it up, and I'm just saying, I hope this guy doesn't win. Tallarico, definitely bad news, especially...
Even if he doesn't, he's gonna pull a Stacey Abrams, say like the election
Of
got
course.
stolen or something, and then he's gonna become him and David Hogg are gonna like finger each other in a hotel room.
Of course.
Oh, God.
That was a name I did not want to hear ever again. I was happy that name disappeared.
Or an image I wanted to even think of.
And Texas, I really wish they would get their stuff together because, we always see Texas as this big bastion of conservatism, red state, firm red state. It's pretty much purple at this point. They got the California apocalypse rain down upon them. So
I assume he's going to be going up against presumably Ken Paxton, right? So Ken Paxton
more than
should
likely,
crush him.
yes. Yes, I would hope. I would hope so.
Former Texas AG, I would hope so.
It'd be nice if their governor would stand for something too. No pun intended, but not simping for India and Israel all the time. Just saying. So, 2 more articles to look at, and we're gonna call it a day here. So, California. Nick Shirley has descended upon the big state of California, and Nick Shirley doing the Lord's work as he does. He did a great job in Minnesota. He goes over here. This is why California's fraud is so massive. Just look at their Medi-Cal budget versus enrollment in population. So the population has stayed just about the same, but enrollment has budget skyrocketed. Look at this. In 2022, the budget was $108 billion. This year, it will be $222 billion.
That's a quarter trill.
Wow.
Yes, $250 billion going towards... what's it called? Med-Cali? Cali-Med? Yeah, Med.
It's version like Medicaid, basically. That's
Medi-Cal. Yeah, fraud, exactly. Yeah. So, as Nick shows here, their population and enrollment hasn't increased exponentially, but their spending has more than doubled. Prime example of fraud, and I fully agree. Waste and abuse of taxpayer dollars. So, look at this chart here. So, linear levels of enrollment, but the cost is going up, 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 up. So, that's $108 billion on the left, $222 billion on the right, and it's sat at just about 14 million enrolled throughout the entire time. So, yes, not more people, but more money going out. It's interesting how that works.
Well, it's
interesting how that works.
Part of it, 2022, right when the illegals came in, right when they guaranteed illegal health care. Now they said federally they can't. That's why it's Medi-Cal, but they borrow it from the federal programs. That's how they get around it, to use federal funding to pay for illegal health care. But whenever you ask, you end up with the millennial woes treatment of a leftist refusing to acknowledge reality, thus making discourse impossible.
Yeah, and every communist governor that runs these states keeps begging the federal government to give them more money, and they keep
Well,
giving
that's
them
why
more
Trump
money.
needs to double down and
Yeah.
triple down and start holding the line against these blue states, which I wish we would have seen more of in the height of the Minnesota chaos. So.
Wait, what do you mean, Isaac? He just signed the executive order. He's making a fraud task force. JD Vance is in charge, bro. He's
Wait, you mean
totally-
you mean something like Doge? Something like that?
No, I'm
Really?
not kidding. Wait, did you not see it? Yeah, I think we
I
talked
didn't
about
see
it.
that.
I think we
No,
talked
I
about it on
didn't,
my
no.
stream. We talked about it on my last stream.
Wait, that one?
Right. Yeah, it's that same task force.
I didn't see it because I was talking about it. So, I'm still on Doge mind. I'm still on the Doge mind. I want that. I'm always thinking of Elon when it comes to cutting fraud.
I have a thing. I did a Doge emote, and like now when I see it, I'm just like, oh yeah, that was a good idea.
I know. Lasted what? Almost 100 days? A little over? A little less? Yeah. Unfortunate. The deep state got to this, you go after the deep state's fraud, they're going to go after you, essentially. And last thing on fraud, we all know homelessness is a scam. All the money that goes to it is just funneled into fraudulent efforts like crazy. And in New York City, they have $368 million going to God knows where. So last week, New York State Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli released a report revealing that New York City spent $368 million on services for its unsheltered homeless population in 2025. That works out to $81,000 per person, rivaling the city's median household income. So, just that on its face, $81,000 per homeless person.
I'll kill each one for 40K.
It'd be cheap. It'd be cheap, Patrick.
As a joke.
Yeah, maybe Canada figured it out.
Is there a website for contractors? Where do I put in bids?
Well,
That
hang
would
on.
be cheaper than 81K.
I think I will help funnel this venture so we can make it as efficient as possible so we can make some money with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking to Netflix about real-life Squid Games, yes.
They may have to share bullets.
Might have to. But just last thing on this, to put that in perspective, in 2019, 6 years prior, the city was spending $28,000 per unsheltered person. They have to say unsheltered because homeless is bigoted, apparently. In 6 years, the number has
Hobo.
nearly tripled. And the result, the unsheltered population grew 26%. So obviously, throwing more money at the problem makes it worse in this case. 1,000%.
Devised it.
Yes.
It's almost like
So,
the problem is presented by the cash, you know.
I would say it is.
They
I would say it is.
incentivize so hard. They instead of bringing like businesses to your state for jobs, they brought homeless people from across America to come to like San Francisco and places.
Well,
Pretty
here's
much.
the other part of that.
Rough.
So to tie it back to Elon Musk, and it's partially related to this. To end world hunger, we just need 2% of Elon Musk's value. To which he immediately called their bluff, said, okay, give me the details of how you'll do this, and I'll give it to you right the fuck now, and no replies. But
Nothing
somehow
whatsoever.
they fucking squeeze this out of the taxpayers with no fucking... I'm going to get mad. I'm going to say
crazy.
a word.
So when Elon ends up paying TSA, they're going to call him a fascist, right?
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. And
No doubt about
you
it.
know, they're already saying that with ICE there and everything. They're like, this is 1930s Germany, everything. You know,
What?
it's
What
crazy.
is ICE doing there?
They're doing the
though?
job of other, agencies
Yes,
aren't being funded.
name
on.
that.
I mean,
what
they're-
job is that, and what are their duties?
That's
Well,
very
they're-
true too.
They
Yes.
let Ronan escape twice, so...
So, yeah, I was going to say, if they let me escape twice, I don't know if they're
Defund
really
them
doing a good
immediately.
job.
Yeah, no, that's my idea. Let's just get rid of the TSA checkpoints.
TSA is the
Yes.
worst. I hate
It's
TSA.
also gay. But there's one solution to all of this. This is the last thing we're going to show for tonight.
Ending
is,
the Fed?
There's one person that can save this, and that is I think we lost an Irwin.
What?
I think we lost an Irwin.
His-
But
his,
anyway.
his nameplate's still there.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll
This
vanish
is
soon enough.
the limited, much desired kosher sleep aid. So if you guys haven't seen it, this is the Jewish sleep aid. Let's check it out. Better than magnesium or melatonin.
Even
So,
grinning asleep.
Yes. So you love to see it, but we're gonna leave it there, guys.
not-
Thank you
There he
again.
is.
They're not counting. They're not counting sheep when they fall asleep. They're counting Benjamins. So
That's very true. Very true. Yes, or you know, other
I
things.
count Ben Shapiro eyebrows to fall asleep now.
Yeah, that's too much to count, though. That's
I
too
just
much
look
to
at his
count.
sister.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for about
So-
38 seconds.
Well, yes, that too. We're going to wrap it up there, guys. Kind of off-kiltered stream tonight. I want to give a thank you. Badger, Irwin.
I
thank
thought
you
your
again.
kilter
I know
was fine.
we're disorganized today. My bad. Thank you all for... I appreciate y'all being here. Chat, as always. We're going to check in with the chat. Tomac, I want to say this. Tomac sent me something today.
Oh God.
He sent me Jesus Simulator on Steam.
He would be the one to have it.
I think,
no.
I think that goes beyond the border of blasphemy. I think it is. I accepted it, Tomac. I accepted it. I accepted it, your Jesus Simulator into my library.
Oh,
Steam.
boy.
And
his
needless to
heart.
say, I'll get back to you on that, Tomac. So needless.
Go play Goat
to
Simulator
say.
first.
No, it's
He
to
gifted
tell
me
a
that
trick
too.
about. Yeah, to tell you a trick about Tomac. The last time I checked, now granted, he could have gone over the number I'm about to say. On his Steam wish list, he had 4,922 games. He would be the one to find the Jesus Simulator game.
It do be like that, yeah. He is a Steam aficionado. So, needless to say, we're gonna do some quick outros. Magnum, I think people know you're on X. I think that's all you're doing at the moment. Other than that, what's up?
Well, thanks for the compliment, man. No, I'm good. Yeah, so that's it. Next one.
All right. And Lex, tell the people where you're gonna be at.
And I'm probably somewhere around Cole Hauser's channel or Sin's channel or Malty's channel or your channel. Certainly not my channel though. Don't go looking for me there. That's a bad idea. And then
We
just
appreciate
avoid
you
me on
being here,
Twitter.
and special Star Wars stream coming up on Cole Hauser's channel here in a
Yes.
couple weeks.
Ayo.
You're gonna want to stay tuned. We can't say anything else, Ronan, but it's gonna be big. So we're looking forward to that. And Ronan, as always, you were here kind of last minute. You just got back home. Tell the people where they can follow you, what you're gonna be doing.
So of course I got my link right here where you can find all my different locations. You know, I got a YouTube, which is Ronan the Crusader. I got a Kick with this Ronan the Crusader. I got an X, which is Ronan_Crusader7. A little different there. I'm not doing anything else tonight. I'm crashing the fuck out. I'm going to bed. And then for the next 2 days, since I do still have off, I will try and continue streaming on my channel, either Resident Evil Requiem, Claire Obscure. I am throwing a Fallout stream in there because I have not streamed it for a long time. I got to pick up Crimson Desert soon and try that one as well next.
It
That
looks good.
like I got a chance to see Hayden play it while we were hanging out, and it looks really good. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm interested in playing that too.
Fantastic. Yeah, looks like a good game, and I'll be checking out your streams when you do. Vatwa, do you want to do your outro now, or do
Last.
you want to do it after?
Last.
After last. Okay. Irwin and Badger, you guys are great. Thank you for being here. I thought it was just going to be the three of us. I appreciate it,
outro?
though. I appreciate it. No,
I'll say
Irwin
one
first.
word and you
That's why I
say
said
the
Irwin.
next word.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
Irwin, you
Pleasure to be
are...
here. If you want to see me do racisms against black women in Reloaded, video should be out this Saturday. Gonna put it on the main channel. Also, Ronan, something's messed up with your link, dude. I keep clicking on it, but it just keeps pausing the stream for some reason.
Oh,
fix that. Thanks for
okay.
having me, Isaac.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Badger, as
Let me
always.
see here.
Dude, thank you.
I'm
I appreciate
kidding.
you
I
here.
mean the link on your stupid and underneath your name. All right, sorry, Badger.
Wow.
Badger, tell the people where you're going to be.
Oh.
Yes.
I got videos that you can watch. All the fun things.
I ruin
The
jokes
Star-
all the time. I
I
can't
didn't
believe
watch
it.
the show. Your Starfleet videos kept me going, though. It was a good watch. I feel your pain, needless to say.
You enjoyed the suffering.
Yes. Vatwa, you have something to announce. If you're a mod, you can drop the link in the chat, too. You have a link.
Well,
tree
it's.
now,
I was actually
which is
going to
great.
help you because I actually have something to adjust on my profile now. It is time to move forward with something that I have been planning for a while now.
We
that
already
will
knew
come
you were
to
gay,
fruition.
that law. You don't have to come out of the closet.
I am starting the channel now.
Hey,
all right,
I
all
do
right.
videos.
Good stuff, man.
You can go ahead and drop the link because hopefully by the time that it gets there, profile, and I think I have it there. There we go.
Yep.
And go ahead and drop it in chat, please. I have came up with a concept because I'm following the order of the old proverb, necessity is the mother of invention. What does the fellowship not have right now? Isaac Ronan, you want to answer?
Yeah, you already said.
Actually, you got it. Girls was the first thing I figured would come
yes.
up. It's not girls. Unfortunately, I can't provide that, but I would be very rich if I could. Yes, he's so disappointed in me. Well, now
So
we're going
needless
back
to
the gay
say,
jokes, right?
people need to subscribe to your channel, click the link tree, and
Yes,
check it out, and stay tuned.
The YouTube channel is in there. And the show I'm going to do, to put it like this, a lot of people know that Gary ran a comic store. A lot of people know that Jeremy worked retail.
He did. Wow.
How did Isaac get here? How did Erwin get here? How did Badger get here? How did Ronan get here?
You're doing a Ryan Roger ad day?
No, I'm saying I will have guests on. I will have a list of questions to ask them about their background.
You're doing
and
a
on
Ryan Roger
Friday
ad day. Just don't
Friday
talk about Chuck and
afternoons-
Spears.
Yes, on Friday afternoons, we will find out.
Nice.
Very good. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh,
there we go.
It's going to be a good show. We'll keep an eye out for that. Guys, make sure you're checking it out.
Yeah, I
As
have no
always-
idea when I'm start. I still need to buy some equipment, but that's the announcement.
As always, guys, make sure you're following Vatlaw for that. All the guys on the panel. And links in the chat on the YouTube and Kick side. Go watch ABF. Niat's going to be on there. Might be doing a face reveal, ABF said. So go watch Off the Hip if you want to see what that glorious black man from Australia looks like. So needless to say, chat, thank you for being here. And again, thank you, Raider, for the gifted subs over on Kick. 10 gifted subs. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you for supporting the channel. Keeping the lights on, literally. We'll catch you